Hello, everyone. I wasn't fully aware there was going to be an audience here. I was under the impression this was a close set. Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Eric. I'm an interviewer at Classic Rock Monthly. I've interviewed quite a few legends of rock and roll, as well as some future stars. But I'm actually kind of excited tonight because I'm going to be interviewing someone who's notorious for dodging the press, right? But to my delight, his manager called me up and set up this interview. Said he was very interested in doing it. I'm talking about the one and only Tom Waits. He's going to be meeting up with me. Only he was supposed to be here by now. Conspicuous by his absence, none of you haven't seen him. How about you, ma'am?
No.
You?
No.
You?
No.
Any of you? Well, I'm sure someone would have called me to let me know that he wasn't going to show up. You know, while we're waiting, I want to give you a little information about Tom Waits. You know, for those of you who are not familiar with his work, you know, he was just
Why
recently...
do that when I could just tell you? I'm here.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I stand corrected. Please, give a big hand to Mr. Tom Waits! Thank you so much, Mr. Waits. Make yourself comfortable. Take a seat. May I call you Tom?
Well, as long as I don't owe you any money, you can call me anything you want.
Okay, so Tom, you know, I was just, you know...
Well, you know, actually, before we begin, I just wanted to apologize for being late. You know, it was the damnedest thing. The traffic was at a standstill getting here, you see. So this woman went into labor in her car, and the husband passed out from the shock of it all.
In labor?
Oh yeah. But I leaped right in and reached in and pulled that sucker right out. It was a boy. At least I think it was a boy. I couldn't tell because the umbilical cord was in the way of its, you know, its things.
You helped deliver a baby on the way here.
Yep.
I think this might be one of your usual answers to throw off the press.
Well, you might be right. Or you could be wrong. It's a 50-50 thing.
Well, I'm sure if it happened, it'll be on the news. Now, Tom, in your long and storied career as a singer, you know, dating back to the early to mid-'70s, and in your long and distinguished career, you've had many great milestones. You've won Grammy Awards, written many great songs, you were nominated for an Oscar, scored a short film that won an Oscar, and most recently, you were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that was a busy 2 weeks I had, I'll tell you that.
Well, you know, Tom, a lot of people here know about Tom Waits, the singer. But the good people here tonight, and a lot of people around the world would like to know more about Tom Waits, the man.
Did you poll all these people when they came in?
No, sadly no.
So then how do you know that's so?
Just a guess. So, please, Tom, in your own words, tell us about your early years.
Well, I was born in the back seat of a car outside of a Mexican hospital.
Was it a rocky delivery?
Oh, no. Oh, actually, they had paved out the road, so it was smooth sailing for everything.
Right. And where do you reside now? New York City, Hollywood, Los Angeles?
Well, right now I live on the corner of Bedlam and Squalor. The rent is reasonable, but the school system is the pits.
And did you always want to be a singer even at a young age?
Well, I figured it was either become a singer or have a career as a refrigerator repairman.
I think it's safe to say you made the right choice.
Hey, you know something? As interesting as this all is, I wanted to tell you something about something I learned recently about insects.
Oh.
Yeah. You see, I went to my local library recently. Those things actually still do exist. They're not part of your imagination. And I learned some things about insects. For example, did you know that the whirligig beetle buries itself underneath the ground for several months at a time, even during the permafrost. And also, did you know that a female praying mantis, after it mates with the male, will proceed to bite off the male's head and kill it? Yeah, even during fornication, it'll bite off its head and abdomen. So how about that for a first date? Also, there's one thing, I did not know this. Did you know that if you put a minute amount of alcohol on the head of a scorpion, it'll drive itself completely mad and sting itself to death?
Tom, as interesting as that is, that's not exactly what we came here to talk about.
It's not, huh?
No. You know, a lot of people claimed that you used to drink a whole bottle of gin and rum before every interview you did, strange as it sounds.
Well, see, I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Now, Tom, I think one of the main questions I have is, have you realized the music the way you've heard it in your head?
Well, yeah, I always make compromises, though, with the work that I do, because if I put down into words and music the way I hear songs in my head, nobody would want to hear them but me.
Really?
Yeah.
So, in a way, you try to change your music up just enough before it goes to be recorded?
Yeah. Every song that I do, I make tiny little compromises. I've been doing that for most of my career.